All right, number 3, you ready? Eating well. Because you're probably thinking, well, that's great about the water and that's great about the air, but is that really helping me lose weight? Well, I can tell you that the water definitely will, and breathing clean air will allow your cells to operate more efficiently, so it will help. But the real key is eating well. So what's all the hype about a plant-based diet anyway? Why is that so key? I'm going to give you 3 rules about why plant-based diets are important. One is chlorophyll, one is that alkaline-acid balance I was talking about, and the third is enzymes, and I talked a little about that. A plant-based diet achieves and accomplishes all those 3 things that are so important. And I'll give you a few little tips on each of them right now. Chlorophyll. Who remembers from science class what chlorophyll is? It's that thing that makes all plants green, right? Well, how does that really work? It is the blood of plants. Their blood is green, our blood is red. When scientists actually assay, they call it, chemically decipher what makes up chlorophyll and what makes up blood, there's only one chemical that's different between the 2. Isn't that amazing? What that tells us is that eating that green plants and chlorophyll cleanses our blood. And our blood is our lifeline. Our blood is the transport system for all our nutrients. When we eat those things, it's the healthy blood that allows those nutrients to be carried around to every single cell in the body that does every single thing we do. I mean, I'm oversimplifying a complicated process, but in some ways it is that simple. And so I'm encouraging you to go green because it's going to keep your blood nice and strong and healthy. And all your cells, therefore, right? Number 2, this acid-alkaline balance. Do you know that the pH of our blood has to be between 7.35 and 7.65 or we die? That's the small margin that the pH in our system has to stay. And so how does it do that? Well, to be honest with you, all day long, our bodies are working to keep that pH in line. It will allow other things to suffer so that we can keep that pH where it needs to be. But we can help our systems with that pH. I told you about the water and the alkaline water. That helps. But when you look at plant foods versus animal products, raw foods versus cooked products, this whole side creates an alkaline condition in your body. The other side, cooked foods, animal proteins, that creates acidic condition in your body. So our bodies are always trying to balance that alkaline and acid in our system. But because of the American diet, we tend to err on the side of acidity. So our system is always working real hard. Well, when your system's working real hard, what happens? Same thing, guys. Everything breaks down. We're tired, we're sluggish, we don't have energy. The plant-based diet gives back to you, turns your system alkaline, and gives back what you're taking from the acidic kind of foods that you eat. These are really quick lessons, I know right now, but I'm trying to encourage you about the strong benefits of a plant-based diet. And thirdly, are these things called enzymes. Now, what are they? Quick lesson, enzymes are the thing that makes everything in our body work. If you know cars or know mechanics or have someone in your life that understands spark plugs, you can have a car with all its parts, but if the spark plugs aren't working to give it the energy, no parts of the car work. That's what enzymes do. They're like the spark plugs of our body. So you can imagine they're really needed because without enzymes, nothing functions properly in our bodies. Well, guess what? These enzymes are found in raw plant-based foods, in all our vegetables and our fruits that are not cooked over 115 degrees. That's the hype behind a plant-based diet. That's the hype behind eating raw as much as you can, or very, very gently cooking your vegetables. Is that all starting to make sense? So we're only on point 3 and we're talking about eating well. And I'm going to encourage you, the more you can do a plant-based diet. The goal, 80-20, which is very hard to achieve. That's 80% plant-based versus 20% other foods. Remember, the other foods are your animal proteins, your grains, your legumes, all those things, right? The 80% is your fruits and vegetables. Now, that may sound insurmountable. So start with 50-50. Start with 40-60. Start with anything that's a baby step closer from where you are today. And eventually with those baby steps, you'll accomplish a healthier, more alkaline system. There's other things I'm going to share with you about eating well, right? You want to eat slow and chew your food very carefully. It's in that chewing process that the enzymes are released and mixed with the food that allow them to be broken down and more easily assimilated into your cells. That means the digestive process, right? Really breaking down that food. Well, our teeth were meant to help us break down that food. Here's another thing that seems kind of silly. Eat sitting down in a calm state, not in a stressed state. When we eat standing or on the go, our bodies are stressed and they're doing a lot of other things. You want to sit down, relax, eat slow, and allow your body to focus on getting the nutrients into your body. It makes a big difference. You've heard this one before. Don't eat late. Pick your time. Pick your time, like 7 o'clock at night, maybe it's 8 o'clock. I happen to go to bed early. I try not to eat after 7:30 at the latest. Try not to eat late. Pick a time, set it, and live by it. I talked about the 80-20 rule. And last but not least, I would be remiss if I was talking to you about eating well without telling you to avoid those bad guys. Who are the bad guys? I call them the whites. The white sugar, the white flour, the salt, and oh yeah, dairy. Those are really the bad guys. Try to minimize, reduce, eliminate where you can. Does that sound great?